you to another script that I have been working on, or another project that I have been working on, which is Hacklab-AD. You can find this in github.com, Raj77 and Hacklab-AD. This is basically a script, PowerShell script that will allow you to set up a Windows server as a vulnerable server where you can practice your pen testing skills. I have tried to make it very dynamic so that every time you run this, there will be different users, there will be different issues that are created, and different users will have different passwords. So, it, basically, if you are running it multiple times, it should be okay for you to try it again and again. Again, there are multiple parameters that are taken as input, so you should be able to run it on any server that you want to. And specifically, I have taken care of running this on server 2025. That's where I wanted to create a vulnerable server, and whatever other scripts I was finding were quite old and did not have the vulnerabilities to be introduced in server 2025, as a lot of those would fail. For example, in server 2025, you cannot have null sessions, and enabling the SMB1 server is a bit tricky, and so on and so forth. But as usual with any of these scripts, you will have to first disable your antivirus, and also you will have to set execution policy to bypass or remote signed or whatever you would like to, so that you can run the script. Now, if you wanted to disable the antivirus, this script already does it, but by the time it tries to do it, it is already too late, and by that time this is already stopped by your antivirus, whether it is Defender or anything else, and hence the script itself cannot continue and it will be stopped, right? So what you can do is you can go here, go to this, once you have downloaded the script, go to the script and search for set MP preference. You will find that I have committed it here as disable Windows Defender. If you are on server 2025, then you can copy from here till here, and once you execute this in a elevated PowerShell script window, it will disable your real-time monitoring and all the other things in Defender that can basically cache the script, and you will be able to continue with the script. But the script itself basically has a lot of things that it can do. And the way you run this is basically just download this into a folder and then run it from that folder. I will show you how it looks like. So I have just downloaded it on desktop. So I can say search for PowerShell, and I will run PowerShell as an administrator. Once I have done this, I will just go to users, Amit desktop. And generally, it is always a good idea that you create a snapshot of your VM before you run this script, so that if something goes wrong or once you have done with your testing, you can just revert it back to the original state by reverting it to the snapshot that you had taken. Now I'll just open this with Notepad, and once I am here, I will search for set MP preference, search it one more time, and I'll come here. I will just look for server 2025 because that is what I have. If I go to about your PC, I can show you that this is a Windows Server 2025 standard evaluation version. And I have not done any update or anything, but it should not matter, right? But basically, it is for penetration testing, so I don't care about those. But I can just copy paste these and go to my PowerShell window again and paste it here. And now if I go to security, Windows security, you will see that everything in Defender has been disabled. I can go here and then I can go to manage settings and real-time protection, dev drive protection, cloud delivered protection, automatic sample submission, tamper protection, everything has been disabled automatically, right? So you can do that. Now the other thing to take care is, as you know, Windows likes to restart for everything. Whenever you set up some services or whenever you rename the computer or install something, uh, Windows always likes to restart. So there are multiple points where the scripts will restart your system. Once the script restarts, it will not restart itself automatically. So what you have to do is again open a PowerShell window as an administrator and run the script again. But you don't have to worry about all the parameters that you had provided while running the script initially. So when you are running the script, these are some of the parameters that you can give. The domain name, the domain NetBIOS name, then the password that has to be used for domain admin, the IP address for the DC, the prefix length, the default gateway. This is just an option to show you the help on penetration testing and the number of users that you want to create. Okay, so when you run it first time, you can give any of these parameters. Now, the first thing that it will do is basically it will change the name of the host to DCO1. Okay, and then the DCO1 dot whatever domain name you have given here is the host name that your host system will have. If I can show you host name, you can see that it is DC01 now, right? Since I have already run the script. The other thing it does is everything that it is doing will be recorded in multiple places, not just one place, right? So one of the places would be your transcript. So when the script starts, it will do a start transcript. Uh, Also, you can enable the tracing if you want to, but this is not what I was talking about. So where is transcript? Yeah. So here you will have the transcript file in the same path where you had the script, and it will be adlab underscore transcript. It will also have a log file, which will be adlab underscore log. And along with all this, it will also enable the script block logging. If you are unaware of script block logging, basically when script block logging is enabled, it will log the command as well as the output in your event viewer. So when you run this script, it will be enabling this. So you can check your event logs, and in fact it will actually show you, right? So when it enables the script block logging, it will show you here. You can see right host, and it is saying that script block logging is enabled. Detailed command logs will be available in Windows event log, and you can actually check it with uh, logs, Microsoft Windows PowerShell operational. But there is a Windows command, PowerShell command also that you can run to get these logs. Okay, so these are the logging that you will get, and I will show you the logs as well. Uh, this is the log file generated in the last run. So, as I said, multiple times it will restart. It will basically restart for 2 times. So, first time when you run, it will rename the computer, then restart, then it will install AD services, and then restart, then promote it to primary DC, and then again it will have to restart, and after that it will set up everything else that it needs to do, including ADCS. Some of the things in ADCS might not be configured properly when you are running it on server 2025. I am still trying to figure out if I can fix those issues, but mostly everything else is working fine now. The one more issue that you will have is that from the script it is not possible to really set up SMB1. So if I search for SMB1, uh, there will be, yeah. So there is a enable SMB1 here that you can see here. Yeah, enable Windows optional feature online feature names SMB1 protocol. Just copy up to this line and enable this in your PowerShell script. Okay, just paste it here, this line, copy this, paste it here. This will enable SMB1 protocol and restart your computer. Once your system is restarted, then you can run one more command, which is again search for SMB1. Yeah, just set this set server configuration. In fact, you can actually run all these commands again. So if you again don't know about server 2025, one of the other things that happens is if I get SMB server configuration, uh, you will see here there is a enable auth rate limiter. Okay, so what this does is for SMB, it allows you to do a authentication only few seconds once, which means that if you are trying to brute force, it will become very slow. You do not want that, hence probably it is a better idea that you disable this as well. And this is what one of these commands does. So you can basically just run these 4-5 commands to ensure that you are disabling the auth rate limiter, and then you are also enabling the SMB1 session, SMB1 protocol. Otherwise, this will be showing as disabled. If you do a get SMB server configuration, you can check at least these two things and ensure that SMB1 is enabled and you have the auth rate limiter as false. Okay. Now, once you have run the script multiple times after restart, as I said, after restart, you will have to again run it manually. It will not run on its own. And once you have done all those things, then what you can see is on your desktop, you will have also a file called as passwords.txt, which will have the admin password. Guest will not have any password, and then there are few domain users which are created with these passwords. And John Doe with a password of 123 is added into remote management users. This is to ensure that you can do a WinRM if you want to, right? And when you are trying to brute force with WinRM, you will be able to find John Doe. Now, there are few service accounts. Some of these are AS-Reprostable, some are Kerberoastable, and so on and so forth. There is a vulnerable SQL Server account. But since SQL Server is not installed, this will not introduce any vulnerability in SQL Server, but there is a vulnerable SA account created. Then there are additional users created. The passwords for this are, as I said, randomly selected, and the list I have created is from RockU, but you can modify it in the script if you wanted to. Let me open this script again. And uh, I can search for weak passwords. Yeah. So these are some of the weak password users that are created. John Doe, Jane Smith, admin backup, and so on and so forth. Then these are the weak passwords that are actually used for the different users. And these are the usernames that are used. Now, there are a couple of places where this list of usernames and passwords is hidden on the system, and I'll not tell you where. But once you have run the script, you will be able to try and find those places where these are copied. Now, the number of users created is again based on the parameter that you have set here, which is user count. By default on the GitHub repo, it is I think 10 or 50, I don't remember, but one of those values. But You can change it here, or you can change it when you are running the script. Now that is about the password. So I was showing you the passwords file. Yeah, so this is the additional users created, which is based on the number of users that you have given, and I had given 50, so it has created 50 users. After that, there will be few operator accounts created. For example, account operator, backup operator. There will be some service accounts created. All those users and their passwords will be noted here along with the safe mode passwords. Now, the idea is that once you have run the script and you can just copy this file somewhere else, so that if you want to get into the system again, you do not have to worry about how to get into the system, because uh, the passwords have changed for admin and so on and so forth, right? So it becomes easier for you to understand what user you can use for what. For example, I know that John Doe 123 is a remote management user, although he is not a domain admin or anything, but I can use that user to get into the system, right? So I can try this. I can say evil winrm minus I 192 168 235 235.10. User is John Doe and password is 123. And you can see that I am logged in as John Doe, and I can do who am I slash all, and I can see that I do not have all the privileges, but definitely I have some privileges and I am able to log in. That's the good part, right? Now, so that's about the user creation, but that's not the only thing. I specifically wanted to talk about user creation because one of the things that you want to always start with when you looking at AD is uh, basically none sessions and enumerating the shares and enumerating the users or forcing the RIDs. If you are trying all these things on server 2025, it might not work, and first you will have to basically brute force the password for one of the users that you can use, and then try with that user to do all of these things. But as such, the script itself has an option where you can just say help pt, and when you run this command, it will actually show you a lot of commands that you can run and all the issues that you can find on this server. Uh, basically, you can use this to guide you in driving your pen test of this specific vulnerable AD server, and you can see how you can fare with this, right? For example, it specifically mentions that you can use LDAP server, LDAP search command to search for users, but this is not a walkthrough of solving this box. So not everything that you will see here can be run in exact same fashion, and you expect to get a response for this, right? These are just some hints for you to try. Now, these may or may not work, and you will have to find the right tools to ensure that you find the right users and then continue from there. Again, there are multiple ways you can get into this. There is SNMP, which is enabled on this. AS Reproast is there, Kerberoast is there, SMB relay is there, pass the hash, ADCS attacks are there. So there are a lot of things that you can do after you have run the Hacklab-AD script. Uh, so do try this out. Let me know how it goes. If you found it useful, if there are any suggestions, if you would like some changes to be made, please do make a pull request and I will look into it. And if this looks fine, I will definitely merge it. That's all I had for today. Thank you.